Standards, the essential building blocks of a functional world. The driving invisible force behind the quality of how we live, work, and play in the Caribbean. In the expressions of our creative genius and cultural industries.
Usain Bolt storming through, he takes it again, Blake gets the silver.
And in our drive for competitive advantage in how we trade and do business with the world. This is the story of CROSQ, CARICOM's Regional Organisation for Standards and Quality, and its continuing journey in quality.
Like the hidden nine-tenths beneath a polar iceberg, CROSQ, CARICOM's Regional Organisation for Standards and Quality, has been quietly achieving important regional goals since its establishment in 2001 under Article 67 of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. CROSQ's mission is to promote efficiency and competitiveness in the production of goods and services across the Caribbean. This happens through coordinated actions among 15 national standards bodies, or NSBs, through a complex process of standardization and verification of quality. The CROSQ Secretariat operates out of this building in Barbados, but the real impact of its work is felt in the 15 nation-states of Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Guyana, Grenada, Haiti, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. The NSBs in these countries are systematically building a regional quality infrastructure. But what is this regional quality infrastructure, and why should it matter to you?
From a CROSQ perspective, our vision for regional quality infrastructure development is its use for quality competitiveness of goods and services in the region. At CROSQ, we view ourselves as a collection of the 15 bureaus of standards in member states working together to harmonize standards across the region and then to develop mutual recognition agreements or arrangements where if there's one standard and one person tests it and one person certifies that it meets the standard, then everybody should let it in their market, irrespective of any other factors. And that's what we try to do at the CROSQ Secretariat.
The CROSQ network of national standards bodies have benefited over the years from funding and technical support by the 10th EDF, the European Union's main instrument for providing development aid to the Caribbean. Under the 10th EDF, the PTB, the German National Metrology Institute, has been a valuable CROSQ partner. PTB's technical expertise has enhanced the regional quality infrastructure through the creation of important mechanisms like the Caribbean Corporation for Accreditation and the Caribbean Network of Conformity Assessment Bodies.
The focus of PTB's technical cooperation is capacity building, such as hands-on training, consultancy, workshops or internships. Due to the small size of many of the Caribbean countries, regional cooperation and regional frameworks are very important and key aspects in assuring a local availability of quality infrastructure services within the region. Special efforts have to be undertaken within the next year to reach a certain level and certain numbers of QI services which are internationally recognized And these could not only be provided by the national standards bodies, but also by private conformity assessment bodies. In addition, capacity building programs have to be intensified in order to be able to develop quality infrastructure with competent professionals.
So we're there to help and facilitate more free trade, more market access without discriminatory tactics being applied to any member state. So we really look forward to trying to help member states grow their quality infrastructure in standards development, measurement mechanisms, accrediting of testing laboratories, and developing their inspection and certification regimes to ensure that products meet quality standards, and then spreading what one member state does into other member states. So you share that capacity building for quality infrastructure from one member state to other member states, and that way you eventually lift the ocean, if you know what I mean.
A rising Caribbean tide lifts all ships, words to live by for the highly professional team at the CROSQ Secretariat, expert in the 5 pillars of the regional quality infrastructure: standardization, metrology, accreditation, conformity assessment, and communications awareness. They work closely with national standards bodies across the Caribbean to build out the regional quality infrastructure.
You would have member states with their own agendas in terms of their stakeholders, their manufacturers and whatnot, and they would have a particular way in which they would be doing certain things. They see the standards as being a way of getting other member states manufacturers involved in their markets, and so they would have this kind of protectionism mentality, right? And that is one of the biggest challenges that we have.
So the greater challenge is developing a program versus looking on everything projectized. That is something that as a secretariat we have been successfully doing, developing these networks and these programs that I feel will last longer than the individuals here, because when I really think about it, we are full-time consultants to member states, and really a consultant at some point should leave and the work continues.
Conformity assessment involves those activities that basically check to ensure that a product or a system actually meets requirements. So oftentimes we do it unknowingly. So for instance, a man or a woman may go to the supermarket and they're looking to purchase some tomatoes, for instance. And in their minds, they already know that they want very red tomatoes, very firm tomatoes, they want large tomatoes. Those are the requirements that they have set within their minds, and as such, they're carrying out conformity assessment to ensure that the tomatoes that they're buying actually are red, firm, and large, just as how they would have thought that they wanted. So similarly, the analogy extends to the marketplace. When we are exporting our products to a given country, the importing country wants assurance that the requirements that they have set out for that particular product is actually being met by the manufacturer.
How do you then ensure that what I get from Jamaica is the same I get from Trinidad, the same I get from Belize, the same I get from somewhere else, from the US, from Canada? Because the consumer want that assurance that when it ends up on the shelf, that product is on the shelf, it is what it is. And so accreditation is ensuring that the total system that is in place reflects the competence of the individual, of the facility, and of the process.
So what we've realized is that our most valuable resource is in knowledge in our people, so our staff, our external stakeholders, so our performance, how we achieve our objectives, will be based on how we use, create and share knowledge. So it's very important that we create these systems. As David have alluded to, it's not very sexy. QI is not very sexy. So we work on creating tools to transfer all this knowledge and information to our partners and staff and NSPs, etc.
As you can see, it's a lot of technical work that goes into quality infrastructure. So what we are trying to do is develop that competence at the national level as well, so that the member states are actually able to communicate what they do. And here at the Secretariat, we provide the technical assistance to help them boost what they're able to do.
With greater capacity and more competent professionals, training workshops and information sharing sessions have become commonplace among national standard bureaus in the CROSQ network. Another important outcome has been the international recognition achieved by several regional entities in the CROSQ network, such as JANAC, the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation.
We provide accreditation and training services to Jamaica and to the region as well. We provide the attestation to their competence, their technical competence, as well as to the fact that their procedures, their tests, their inspections align with the requirements of the international standard, and that they can consistently perform the tasks, the specific tasks associated with their scope of accreditation. So the BSJ, we have 3 of the labs at the BSJ are our clients. So we have awarded the BSJ an accreditation certificate for their microbiological lab, their chemistry lab, and for their packaging laboratory. And we are currently doing assessment activities for another lab.
CROSQ, as national standards bodies working with their technical partners as well as stakeholders in government, industry and society, is delivering a unique value to Caribbean life and society, best expressed by these 5 quality pillars. Standardization, a framework to ensure that the benchmarks we define and set for ourselves in practically every area of life are well researched, transparent and uniform, and gives us confidence in the quality of the goods and services we use. Metrology, a word not to be confused with meteorology, is the measure of quality that assures us in scientific, industrial, and legal terms of the quantitative value of the goods and services we use. And then the other fundamental pillars of a quality infrastructure: accreditation and conformity assessment, which speak to the development of the testing, inspection, and certification procedures necessary for products to enter foreign markets, and awareness that overarches them all. By collaborating in focused work and activities around these 5 pillars, CROSQ, through the National Standards Bureaus, are the standard bearers of the regional quality infrastructure. The CARICOM Regional Organisation for Standards and Quality, radiating rays of quality across the Caribbean and harmonizing the highly technical work of national quality institutions. In developing and promoting standards and quality, CROSQ is leveling the playing field for Caribbean trade in the global space, building a regional quality infrastructure, advancing Caribbean quality culture. Learn more about the national standards bodies and the CROSQ network in your country. Join the movement to build the regional quality infrastructure for our amazing Caribbean future.